What's going on guys, SP Architects here. Today I'm going to show you two render shots, this and this. We have seen these render shots, but these renders were created 2 years ago, and for that time there isn't path tracing. You know, it's a new technology, so I'm gonna re-render with the path tracing in Twinmotion. But unfortunately with path tracing, for now we are not going to use these decals. They aren't supported yet, but I'm gonna try again anyway. And also you can see these dead leaves on the road. They are also decals too. You can also see these water leaks also. We don't have them yet, but I think we are going to get more realistic render again. But before beginning the tutorial, I'm just going to ask you to like this video tutorial. It's going to help this channel to growing up, and I suggest you to subscribe because I'm gonna make similar tutorials every time. Alright then, let's get into the tutorial and Twinmotion. Alright, here we are in Twinmotion and I have opened that file. It was converted to new version. I clicked the update button and now here we are again. Now as you can see, we are in the media menu and we have render shots. This one, image 1 and image 2. As you can see, it was already started to render with path tracing. I'm gonna close it down with this button. This render shot is this render shot, but they are a bit different. It isn't important. We are gonna make it again. At first, I'm gonna start with image 1. Let's click that. And I'm going to change the render quality. As you can see, it says medium, but it's 64. I'm not going to use that. And low, actually low is very low, it's 8. Therefore I'm going to input here 32. It's enough, I think, for working process. As you can realize, it's really fast. You can see the differences. I'm gonna turn it off and you can see the decals on the walls, and now they're gone. But you can also realize the tree qualities are changed. You can look at the trees to the edges. There are some anti-aliasing problems with the trees. And also here, if I turn on the path tracing, as you can see, trees are really realistic. Since I have lost the stains on the road, I'm going to increase the material settings for the crunch. It's 20%. I'm gonna make it maybe 40 or 50. Now we see more clearly. And also I'm gonna make it in the sidewalk. But as you can realize, we don't have any reflection. I suggest you to use reflection for all of the materials, at least 50%. We have reflection here, but I didn't like the brightness of the road. I'm gonna change the brightness. There we go. And also I can change the reflection. I want to have some reflection also. It's not bad, I think, but I'm gonna add some extra light for this shot. And also this wall must be a concrete wall, but I cannot realize that. So I'm going to change the brightness and also texture scale, like so. Now I can see the concrete effect from this angle, maybe more. You can use tint value here. For this time I'm gonna use pure white. Okay, you can realize that all of the materials were changed. For dead leaves I'm going to use some model. So I'm going to use vegetation and landscape. And we have miscellaneous here. Let's click that and we will see some dead leaves here. We can use this one or this. This looks a bit spreaded, so I'm gonna try this one. Like so. And this looks like this, but I didn't like it. Let's delete it. And also I'm going to get rid of the previous decals. So I'm going to turn off the path tracing in order to see that. And if we just click that, we can see dead leaves here. In the search bar, I'm gonna input here dead leaves. After that, I'm gonna select them all and hit delete. And also these are unnecessary, these decals. Now I'm going to type in stains and delete them. And this is leaking water. Now we have deleted all of them. By the way, we don't need this girl. I'm going to delete her also. This custom pet. There you go. I'm going to change the camera angle to add some dead leaves. I hit the shift. But before that, now I right click the newly created dead leaves, click the set active container and create a new container. Input your leaves. And now this is going to be new container. And now I can duplicate with the instance and turn the rotation. Now we can copy again and increase the number, maybe 6. Alright, we can go with that. And also I want here instance. Okay, it's looking great. By the way, I have decided to change the road texture. I'm going to use Megascan library, Megascan surface, and we are going to see asphalt folder here, and we have fine and fine road. Let's drag and drop and look at what we have. There we go, not bad. Now we are going to change the scale and the tiling. For that, I'm going to use the more and turn the rotation. So let's input here 90 and change the scale. We need to change the camera angle. There you go. This is path tracing. Let's change the brightness and reflection. We have some reflection here of the building. Not bad. Maybe like this. All right. The more darkness, the more reflection we have. Do not forget to add some grunge too. There you go. Now it's time to change the HDRI. This time let's try Twinmotion on HDRI maps. In the sky dome, as you can see, this is a new scene, so I'm going to use this Nung folder and clear or cloudy, I don't know. Let's go with the clear, and if we just hover over the preview pictures, we can see the preview scenes, and this looks great. Nung clear 07. Let's click that and drop here, and it's going to be changed. It's very dark. We are going to fix that. Let's go to the light setup, and we are also in the lighting setup for HDRI. Let's click more, and ambient is okay for now. Let's go to more, lighting, and exposure is 0. We can increase this to 1. Let's go with that, and also I'm going to change the intensity for the sky. Since I'm satisfied for the brightness of the sky, I'm going to change the intensity and leave it with that. And after that, I go to lighting and change the ambient value for the shadows. Like so. It turns the bluish, as you can realize. We can change the white balance. Now we have warmer effect, and also we have a light here. Let's get rid of that one. If I can input here light, this one, not that, this area, let's turn off them. I want to see what is there. It's IIS light. I'm going to delete. Let's continue. For the renders, lighting is very important. Actually, the most important thing is lighting. You have to use lighting angle intensity very well. So with that reason, I'm going to change the light angle for the shadows. Let's go to sky dome and change the rotation. I want to see some shadows on the wall. There we go. Now I go back to the exposure and change the exposure settings a little. And also the side walls are very bright. I'm going to decrease the brightness. You can use this color picker or you can use this luminosity. Both of them will work perfect. Also for the white walls. Let's add some grunge too. There we go. Maybe we could change the scale. I want to see more texture on the wall. Alright. As for the final touches, I'm going to change the tint of the trees. For that, we have weather options here. In the weather, we have seasons. If we change the season to the autumn, the color are going to be changed like so. If you haven't satisfied for the results, you can also click the trees you want to change, and we are going to use leaves tint. Darker trees going to be provide more realistic effect for your renders. I have selected all of the trees and foliage. Now I'm going to change the tint value. With the path tracing, you will see the real-time effect. I think this value is okay. And we have more elegant trees. Alright, this angle is okay. Now let's go to the next one. Alright, we are in the second camera position and we are going to continue from this one. Let's go to the lighting setup and look at what we have. Let's click the more and here we are in the lighting. As you can see, it's a very dark scene and this must be an overcast sky and scene. For that reason, we need to increase the lighting. But before that, let's turn on the path tracing and we have noon setup over here. Let's change it to the overcast sky. Let's turn on the sky dome and I'm going to use my own HDRI map this time. Alright, I have imported the Greenwich Park from hdriheaven.com. It's a very nice map, but as you can see, we have huge trees here. For that reason, I am going to change the rotation and I don't want to see that huge trees behind my building. And as you can realize, we have more clouds here. It's perfect, I think, and we have shorter trees and more convenient for our render, but we need to increase the intensity of the light. For this time, I'm gonna leave the exposure to 0. Now let's go to sky dome settings and change the intensity, but I think we have auto exposure on. Let's turn it off. Now we can change the intensity of the sky. There we go. And we can change the ambient light separately. As you can realize, we have darkness in the corners. It's because of the camera setting. In the camera setting, we have this vignette. Let's turn it off. And now we can see the true value of the lighting. By the way, since we are in the camera settings, we can change the visual color gradient settings and we can use the blue tint and turn off the contrast and turn them in the default values. Now we can see the scene brighter. I'm gonna pick up the concrete material and change some settings. Also for the white concrete. It looks better. And now I'm going to duplicate this material to this one. There we go. Maybe we can change the reflection of the glass. Let's input here 3. Let's look at the window glass also. They are the same. I think they must be separated material. For this reason, we could change the railing glass and also window glass separately, but now we cannot do that. Okay, never mind. Now I'm gonna add some ambient light for the windows. Let's turn off the pet tracing. And now I'm going to show you something else. Let's go to lighting. If we change the ambient light like this, it's not the same value. This 3.6, this 2. With that we can play around the model and change the texture of them without pet tracing. And once we have changed them, we can turn back to the pet tracing and we can see the result. It's way more faster, I think. Let's check out the sky if it's work. Yeah, that works for the sky also. There you go. Now I'm going to turn off the pet tracing and add some lighting. Area light. I'm gonna hit the 6 and change the rotation. I'm gonna direct the input here 90, increase the attenuation and intensity. Final values can be changed according to the values, according to the scenes. The point is we need to get a bright orange on the ceiling, and also we need to see some lighting on the ceiling, on the balcony also. So this is not enough. I'm going to change the size of the light. After that, I'm going to see some lighting throughout with the ceiling. There we go. As you can see, we had some trick. First one is in the room and second one is outside of the room, which is a fake light. But now it seems very well, I think. But as you can see, the ceiling is very bright. I'm going to decrease the lighting intensity to 1000 or 1500. Or like this. Okay, it seems good. Now I'm going to add some spotlights. In the user library, I have some spotlights here and place them on the ceiling. But our direction is wrong. Let's change it. Input here 180. Let's continue to duplicate. To do this, we can use the top view, but for now I prefer using this one. There we go. We can also add area light here. Or we can use OmniLight because it's very dark. I want to see some brightness in the ceiling also. For that reason, I'm going to use this one. Let's change the intensity. And duplicate it under the every spotlight. Okay, the final step is going to be change the height of the grass. It's very tall, I think. I go back to the camera angle. and I'm going to delete long grass and increase the size. And add more grass. We can also increase their sizes and change their color. I think there is a bug here. It seems very tall here without path tracing. With the path tracing, it seems short. I don't know why. Let's change the render quality to medium. It's same. I don't know. Okay. I have deleted all of the grass and I'm gonna make the operation once more. I have placed long grass more than once and I'm gonna place it same time. Let's try this one. But size isn't working. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be enough to change the color tint. There we go. Alright, here we are in the Photoshop stage. As you can realize, I have added a few objects. We have some stones and bush here and also here. And I have also added a vintage wooden cabinet. It's very easy. You can use Quixel Mega Scan. I didn't show this stage because I didn't want the tutorial very long. In the Photoshop, we can use a few more adjustments, but the most useful adjustment tool is in the filter, Camera Raw Filter. In the Camera Raw Filter, we will see a couple of options. We can change highlight, shadows, white and blacks. But in order to change that, I'm not going to use this. We have the tone curve here and I prefer changing these values. For highlights, this value change highlights and brightness of the scene. This is shadows and this is black points. If you want to add contrast of your scene, you can change shadow value. In this stage, I have added some highlights and go back to the basic. For the temperature, you can change this slider. If your scene is very dark, you can change the shadow value. As the name suggests, we can change the texture and other values, but I'm not going to touch them very much. It has already changed a lot. Also, we have sharpness value here. Let's increase this one. And for the effects, we have vignette effect here. I prefer using this vignette effect instead of using in the Twinmotion. And I want to see a more bright scene. Therefore, I'm going to change the midpoint to the edge of the scene. Like this. Let's click OK. And with the color balance, we are going to finish the tutorial. Let's just leave the preserve luminosity on, and for the highlights, I'm going to change the yellow or cyan. I want to see these bright points bluish. Therefore, I'm going to change this cyan value to left and blue value to right, like so. But shadows will be yellow. Therefore, I'm going to go to midtones, not shadows, and make them red and yellow. There we go. That was it. You don't have to change too much value there. Because the outgoing render is not successful from Twinmotion, this Photoshop process will not change anything in your renders. I think with the overcast scenes spotlights work very elegant. This is the logic with overcast scenes. If not, we could go with the sunny scene setup. This is the way I use with Twinmotion. If you want to see more Twinmotion or similar tutorials, please let me know. And do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.